Hi, Islamic Dad here. I'm going to do a video on something that is related to just kind of relationships in general, and probably could be applied to people outside of relationships, just in general in your life. Very often with a narcissist, specifically though, there will be a situation where the narcissist is doing something deceptive. And when you confront them or ask them about this, they will say, I need my privacy, or you're invading my privacy. Now, at first, if you're not, aware of what's going on as far as like the manipulation, healthy relationships, etc., you might be caught off guard and say, oh, sorry, didn't mean to invade your privacy. And then just let the narcissist go right back to their deceptive behavior. So this actually happened to me a lot with my malignant narcissist ex-wife. And, I'd have these situations and then I'd come out of them and they didn't feel right. Like my guts were still bothering me, letting me know something's wrong, even though the discussion or argument had ended. And so I thought about the whole concept of, being in a relationship. And there's, I would say, three kind of boxes or categories that you can put things into. The obvious one is public. If something is public, it is open to your partner, possibly even everyone inside or outside of the relationship. And it's just out there. So if you, say you have tickets for a concert and you leave them out on the coffee table, and your partner looks and sees like, oh, you're going to the Blue Oyster Cult concert or something like that, that's cool. Or if they were to ask you, hey, what concert is this? You would just say, oh, it's Blue Oyster Cult. They're playing Friday. It's going to be great. So I put that in like the public category, and that is something that is kind of mutually understood on both sides, that that information can be, and honestly should be, shared. On the other side is what I would call privacy, or private. Now, I have very specific thoughts on this, and I'm pretty sure that there are going to be others that disagree. That's fine. Do think what works for you. For me, the way privacy works is that privacy is given. It is not something that you take. And, using like the boundaries analogy, it's something that it's, and it's a boundary accepted by the other person. So for me, the best, example of this is, say, going to the bathroom. Now, if someone, say you're in a relationship, I still, depending on the relationship, very, very often, close the doors to the bathroom, but, not always. But there's relationships where the doors remain open when either of the people use them in the relationship. That said, someone might be using the bathroom and the other, the partner says, oh, I'm going to give them their privacy. Or say your partner gets a phone call from a parent, and it's about a relative who's in the hospital or something like that. You might say, oh, I'm going to give them their privacy, you know, that conversation that you're having with your parent, that conversation that you're having about your relative who's in the hospital. Like, I don't need to know that, and I don't want to make you uncomfortable, so I'm giving you your privacy. And so for me, it's very clear, privacy is always given. And it's also a matter of respect. You respect your partner, which is why you give them the privacy. Now, where that gets twisted and confused is secrecy. Secrecy is not like privacy, even though people think they are. Secrecy is actually the opposite. Secrecy is where, it's not something given, it is something taken. It is withholding information. It is hiding information. If you say, you are going to a concert and you don't want your partner to know, then you would hide those tickets so that they could not be seen. Or if you had them out on, say, the coffee table, and your partner says, "Oh, what are those?" A deceptive partner would grab the tickets, put them in their pocket and say, "None of your business. It's private." And it's like, no, that's not being, and that's the thing, that's not private. That's secret. You are withholding that information. And in a situation like I just gave, your partner literally asked for it. And you said, "No, I'm not telling you." And so, again, where I think it's good to, like, say, in a relationship, have a conversation around this is that I do believe that, having each person in a relationship having their own lives as an individual, and not simply just as a partner in a relationship, is actually healthy. So there should be discussion around, okay, where do we draw that line for privacy, so that each partner says, "Oh, okay, I know to give you your privacy in those matters." So, it might be something as simple as, like, if I'm, addicted to video games, and I really love playing them, and I, get online, and I'm, talking with my teammates and stuff, my partner might say, "Oh, I don't want to disturb you when you're enjoying that. I'm going to give you your privacy so that you can have your time playing video games and decompress and have fun and stuff." So, that would be one example. Though the one that I think is going to come up the most often is around cell phones. And this one's a bit tricky. So again, like, ultimately, what you and your partner agree upon, as far as, like, what you're both comfortable with, is the right way to do it. I don't think there's a hard and fast rule when it comes to, oh, this is the right way to do this, this is the wrong way. Is it, especially with, like, say, cell phones. So some relationships, there was an agreement early on that cell phones are open, that you have your partner's code to unlock their phone, they have your code to unlock your phone. You guys can share phones back and forth, without question, and that each partner can, if they want, start pulling up your social media, your conversations, and looking. I know that a lot of people would say, "Oh, that's the way to do it," and I think there's just as many people that would say, "No, that's horrible. That's not acceptable at all." But again, that's why I think it's important to have a conversation, so that in a relationship you can have that discussion and define where that line is, because it's going to be different for every, two people. On the flip side, there might be relationships where people, as far as like say cell phones, say, no, my cell phone is private. It is 100% mine. I'm never going to look into your cell phone, and you're never going to look into mine. Now, where that can be, run into some issues is that obviously it's healthy that that conversation happened and that two people agreed, made that decision and agreed that that would be the way, say, cell phones and privacy would be handled in the relationship. But then you're literally just kind of, putting up this wall of secrecy for each of you to hide behind, where I can have, conversations with, say, 10, 20 other women, and my partner can have conversations with 10, 20 other men. We could be, having emotional affairs or more, and that would remain secret on both sides. I'm not saying that will happen, and it's more indicative of, say, me or indicative of my partner if we were to do that. And I mean, let's be honest, if even if you have, like, say, open access on cell phones, I give my cell phone to my partner, and my partner gives me her cell phone. Some cell phone or some people are just deceptive, to the point of just kind of making your jaw drop. So not only did my previous partner, the covert narcissist ex-girlfriend, not really, she never gave me like the code to her phone, which is fine. I never gave her mine, but we would, like, freely, once we unlocked our phone, freely hand it, our phones back and forth to each other. But the thing is, like, she made it clear that she had, I don't know what they're called, like, I want to call them like safe box apps or something, but it was just basically like fake apps that look like one thing that you would have to go in and unlock to get to other things. So she might have, say, one of these apps that would actually be a file storage for nudes that men had sent her. Or she might have an app that's like one of these where it appears to be like a list of baking recipes, but in fact is a chat app for chatting with men. And so, again, I mean, it's you can never stop your partner from being deceptive if that is in fact the way they are, or cheating, or doing stuff behind your back. But at the same time, you can set boundaries within the relationship and define public, define private, define secret, so that at least you're not losing your mind, for one, and two, if if your partner crosses that line where, say phones are open in the relationship, and you say, hey, can I use your phone? I need to, like, check the weather up in the mountains because I don't know what I'm supposed to wear. And if your partner's like, no, or acts, strangely or something like that, at that point, something's going on. I mean, you guys had an agreement that you would share cell phones, and then all of a sudden she's refusing to do it. That's okay, boom, red flag. And so again, I don't think that, like, defining, public, private, and secrecy within a relationship is going to stop people from being deceptive, but I think it will make it much clearer when they do, but also just kind of give you, your sanity, so that you're not necessarily wondering as much depending on like your partner's actions, because as long as they're like staying in the lanes, then let's be honest, you're being paranoid. And that's something for you to think about. But if they start going to the edge of that lane, or they start drifting off, then you may have to rethink the relationship. So hopefully this video has been helpful. Thanks.